Good evening, one and all. Today is the 72nd online activity of the SREC Alumni Association, and we have today the session arranged like we have a book review by Shamir of the batch 2005 EEE, followed by the webinar session by Ms.Roobana Arumugam of 2019 BME. So I request Shamir to go with the book review.
This is the book that we are going to see today. India from midnight to millennium and beyond. So the reason why I wanted to talk in English today is that today book is okay. So today's book is India from midnight to the millennium and beyond by Shashi Tharoor. One of the best parliamentarians that India has produced. So why do we have to study? Why do we have to read this book today by Shashi Tharoor? First is that India is running through a phase of religious fundamentalism. Any form of religious fundamentalism, Islam or Hinduism, maybe Christianity, or some other religion around the world. So the world in general is passing through a crisis of fundamentalism. You have to read this book to understand the essence of fundamentalism and how we can fight it. And Shashi Tharoor has dealt with India starting from the millennium, that is 2000 to 2012, that is pre-Modi era, and how India has progressed during the period of Manmohan Singh and during the Congress period. So, it's a must read for anyone who wants to understand what soft power is, what has been India's contribution to the global power. And he also discussed in detail with Shah Rukh Khan's power as well. Shah Rukh Khan, as you know, has been used for the wrong reasons, but he has discussed how Indian, Bollywood by nature has imposed soft power over the world. And he discussed several issues like India's, foreign policies, India's national identity, is religion India, or religion all about India? So this is a question. This is a fundamental question that we are into it. And he has also mentioned about NRIs, the role of NRIs, the role of NRIs played for the progress of the country, and how India has churned out NRIs in large numbers, and their contribution towards the economic progress as well. And he has also, dealt in detail with the emergency period during Mrs. Gandhi, and how India can march forward with its strong, pluralism and singular values. So these are some of the things that you can find. It's a very interesting read, even if you understand, even if you understand politics or not, even if you understand economics or not. This one is a must read. And as I said, Shashi Tharoor is one of the best writers. And even in this book, you can see there's a preface given by Nobel Prize winner Amartya Sen. This is a must read for anybody who wants to understand India from a perspective of parliamentarian, someone who's very secular, someone who's very plural, and someone who's very inclusive in this approach. Someone who has believed that India has been a very tolerant country right from the dawn of the civilization. So today's book, India from midnight to the millennium and beyond, by Shashi Tharoor. I would recommend this book to be in every a college library's bookshelf, so that students might get benefited from what India is all about. Thank you, SREC Alumni Association.
Thank you, Shamir.
Thank you, Shamir, for the book review. So let's go for the chief guest introduction. Good evening, all. We, on behalf of SREC Alumni Association and the Department of Biomedical Engineering, welcome you all for the 72nd webinar talk series titled Overview of Lean Business Process Improvement. We welcome our principal and patron, Dr. N.R. Alumnus ma'am, speaker of the day, Ms.Roobana Arumugam, faculty members, student friends, and alumni from all over the world. Ms.Roobana Arumugam is currently working as Graduate Design Quality Assurance Engineer at Boston Scientific, Clonmel, Ireland. She completed BE Biomedical Engineering in SREC in the year 2019. After that, she completed Masters in Biomedical Engineering at National University of Ireland, Galway. She has knowledge in servicing of medical equipments, maintenance and documenting works related to hospitals. She also worked on lean systems and project management. In Boston Scientific, she is involved in design controls, risk management of medical devices. Over to you, Roobana. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful introduction. So, hello, everyone. And thank you very much, SREC Alumni Association, for this opportunity. It's really great that being alumni and then being recognized by our college, it's such a great thing to happen. And I'm really happy to be here today, and I'm excited as well. So, I'll start sharing my screen. I've got a slide deck for my presentation. Can you see my screen okay? Is it fine, sir?
Yes, Roobana, yeah.
So, yeah, as sir mentioned, I did my biomedical engineering in 2015 to 2019 batch, and then I came to Ireland by 2019. I did my master's in biomedical engineering as well. And I joined Boston Scientific as a graduate design quality assurance engineer last October. So it's been a year I've been working with Boston Scientific, and that is my first job. And it's really good, like to be a graduate and then to learn from the scratch. It's really good experience, and I've learned a lot throughout my journey so far. And I was just thinking when I was invited to give a guest lecture, I was thinking what topic should I talk? Like, I would have taken a topic like higher education opportunities or like something else. But, I know like many of you will be attending this from different departments. So I thought like I should take some topic which is really generic and then which will be really helpful for everyone. So I just took this topic, overview of lean business process improvement. So I'm not really wholly working towards lean projects, but then I use some concepts of lean systems and I'm very much interested towards it. I think there might be a course like in biomedical department, which is total quality management. I did that course in SREC, and I learned some concepts related to lean. And then during my master's also, I did a course called lean systems. And now after joining Boston Scientific, I've been provided with some training related to overview of lean business process improvement and its impact in an organization and industry. And one more thing is it's not only related to medical devices, it's like overall, like you can apply this lean concept everywhere, like in automobile industry, in medical devices, small scale businesses, even in restaurants. Wherever there is a process going on for production and manufacturing, you can apply this lean process. Okay, so I'll start. So the agenda will be what is lean, what are the benefits of lean process improvement, and there is a method called DMAIC, which is one specific Lean Six Sigma process. So I'll be going through some of the concepts in that and some of the tools used in DMAIC. So I'm not going to go deep into each topic. It's going to be an overall view so that everyone will be aware about this topic. I'm pretty sure like some of you might have heard this term, like some of you might have worked on a project on lean and things like that. But yeah, like so for those who don't know what lean is, so basically uh, lean is just a process which is required for any continuous improvement. Okay, so you can tell it as a method or a philosophy and anything it can be, but it is used for continuous improvement of any process. And this is done by eliminating the waste and optimizing the processes. Okay, waste in the sense it can be any waste in a process. Let's say, for instance, there is a production like medical device producing company. Okay, so they can reduce the waste, like the products they are developing can have some scraps which will cost a lot of redesigning and reproducing of the products. So we can eliminate that sort of waste. So I'll just go through the waste concept in coming slides, so you'll be a little bit more clear on that point. And we have another concept called Six Sigma. So Six Sigma is another topic itself. So I'll just tell what it is overall, okay? So Six Sigma is just a statistical tool, okay? That is a process as well. It has got like different methods in Six Sigma that is used to like limits and get rid of the defects, okay? Let's say, for example, there are 100 products being designed, okay? Like there'll be 99.99966% of all opportunities it will be free from defects. So that will be the ultimate aim of applying the Six Sigma concept. Okay, so it means like 100% of the product is very good. Like, so this 99.99966 percentage has come from some sort of calculation. I'm not going to go deep into that, but yeah, Six Sigma is basically for reducing the defect rates. That is what we should be aware about. So if we combine the Lean and Six Sigma, so that will be really helpful for any sort of process improvement along with quality. Okay, so and one more important concept is the customer needs. By meeting the customer needs, we'll provide very good quality product or process or whatever it is. Okay, and one more thing, it's not only for product, it is for any sort of process. I'll tell some examples like throughout the slides. Okay, so what are the benefits of implementing lean in process improvement? Okay, so I said minimizing waste is one of the important key concept in lean systems. So if you minimize the waste, obviously there won't be need for, as I said, mentioned before, reprocessing or reproduction, like producing the products once again. So if we again start from the beginning, we'll spend a lot of money on that. So we can reduce the cost if we minimize the waste. And obviously it will lead to increased productivity. And since we are not going to have defects and we are going to eliminate all the waste, we'll have a quality product. And apparently all these things will lead to increased customer satisfaction. At the end of the day, we all want satisfaction from the customer. So we all start from customer needs only, right? So we have to fulfill the customer needs. So that is our ultimate goal. So these are all the benefits why we use lean process. Like we can just go straight away, okay, just apply this, just you can just use this tool or use this concept so that you can reduce the waste in everything and you can speed up the process or whatsoever. But you need a standardized approach, right? Like there should be a standardized approach for everything. Like wherever you go, whatever organization or industry you go, they'll have proper standardized approach. So lean is one such approach. And in all the organization, like if you take Boston Scientific, Medtronic, or like Toyota, like everywhere, they'll have a team which is solely dedicated for lean manufacturing processes. So what they'll do is they'll just go to the company, they'll see where and all the company needs improvement or else a specific product processing needs improvement. And then, okay, they'll start working on how to improvise that. So that approach for that, like this DMAIC is one such method. Okay, this is one core method which drives Lean Six Sigma concept. So this is like pretty much used in most of the companies. Like wherever you see lean concept, they'll be using DMAIC. Okay, this is one of the most commonly used tool. So DMAIC is nothing but define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Okay, so basically we'll have a problem, right? So we have to define the problem first. Okay, what is the problem? What are the opportunities of that problem being happening? Okay, and then who are all the team who will be involved in working on the project, and what are all the resources available, and those sort of things. And then we'll set some target date for the project. Okay, those kind of things comes under define phase. And then we have got measure phase where we'll quantify the problem. Okay, and then we'll have analyzing phase where we'll find the root cause of the problem, which is really important. Like without knowing the cause, we cannot just go straight away and start improvising the process or a product. And then comes the improve phase. Now since we have got the root cause of the problem, we can find solutions for that, and then we can improve it. Okay, here is where the waste is, so this is the cause which produces this waste, so we should get rid of this waste. Like what are the ways to get rid of that? Okay, and then automatically we'll change the process, and then it will be improvised, right? And then we have got control phase where we have to maintain the improvised process. Like it's not like I just go straight away and do this for one single process. We have to sustain that improvisation, right? So for that, this control phase is put into act. Okay. So this is like an overall view of what DMAIC is. And so I'll just go a little deep into each phase, and I'll say what are the tools which they are using in each phase. And one more thing is there are, as I'm talking about the tools are nothing but methods. Okay, they'll have different methods under each phases, and like the same tool or the method can be used in two different phases as well. I'll tell a few examples of tools. Okay, so now we have got the defined phase. As I said, when we are starting any project or any process improvement project, we have to define the problem and we have to have a goal, like what is the goal of the project. Okay, and then we need to fix the target date, and we need to have the budget for the process, and then we need to have the work breakdown structure, and all these concepts will come into act. So, and then comes the voice of customer, and then SIPOC. SIPOC will sometimes, like for some of you guys, this will be really new. SIPOC is suppliers, input, process, output, customers. So I'll just show the templates which are used in next slide. So here you can see some of the templates used in organizations for project charter. I just took this from Google. Okay. There are like different templates, like it varies from different organization to organization. It's up to them. Okay. The project managers who are involved. So, but basically the fundamental principle is the same. Okay. So we'll have the project name, the business need, and then the problem. What is a problem? Okay. And then now we have to have the goal. Okay. What are the goals which we need to meet. Okay, and then as I said, they'll have their own plan. Okay, this is the defined phase we have to complete within these many days, and what are the milestones involved in that. Okay, so this is what it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one very simple general example for you to go through the entire DMAIC process. So this example was given to me when I was being trained on this. So let's take an example of a French fries shop. Okay, so now I'm getting a customer is complaining that they are getting like a wrong product. Let's say he ordered for large fries and then he got small fries. Okay, and that is one problem statement. And one more problem statement is the waiting time of the customers a bit longer. Okay, these two are the problem statements. So how can we apply the lean process in this? Like we have to improve the process, right? That is where comes this business improvement, right? So how to improve this? Then a lean group of people should sit, or like a normal person can sit and analyze this lean concept. Okay, there's no like we need to be trained on this to apply this. Okay, it's just very generalized one. So basically what you have to go and do is the project title, you can assign whatever project title you want. The problem is delivering wrong product, and then waiting time is long, and then the goal is to get rid of both these problems. That is the goal. And then I'll set some target dates for each and everything. I'll set some budget, I'll put the work breakdown structure. And one more thing to note is it's not always like 100% we won't meet the target date. Okay, uh, I'm in I'm working in this as a DQA engineer, right? So I'll be working development phase of a product. So it's not necessarily it won't meet the deadline. You know, like sometimes we won't have the resources, or sometimes we'll need to rework the design or something like that. So, but for at the start of the project, we need to have a deadline, and then eventually it changes as the project evolves. Okay, so in defined phase, project charter is one such tool. And as I said, we have got voice of customer, which is really very important. For everything we need customer needs, right? So here in this French fries examples case, we can take voice of customer is like they are complaining us, right? Like they are not getting on time and they are getting a wrong product. So that is voice of customer. It can be through anything like a survey, a feedback. Like usually we'll get like, let's say in KFC or McD, wherever like we'll have this feedback form or whatsoever. Okay. When I want to give an example related to medical devices industry, if we are developing a new product, so what will happen is we'll have a prototype created, like, and we'll be demonstrating it to nurses and physicians and some of the other customers as well. So we'll just show, okay, are you happy with the GUI screen, like the graphic user interface. Are you happy with the operating features? Are you happy with the font size? If they're not happy, and then if they want something else, we'll get the input from them. We'll record all those things, and then again we'll redesign it. This is where we'll fail to meet the deadline because we are reworking it again. Okay, and this is the voice of customers concept. So we'll need to take all these input at define phase. Okay, and one more thing is the SIPOC. So how the SIPOC works is, so basically now this French fries producing company, I mean that business, they'll have a process going on now, right? So what is the process in this entire thing? We have to figure out what is happening. So first, what will happen? The customer will come, he'll order the fries, and then the chef will make the fries, and then they'll deliver the fries to the customer back again. So we have to arrange the process first. And then let's take one process, for example, making the fries. So who will be the supplier for that? The chef will be the supplier for that. What will be input? It will be the frozen chips, salt, pepper, and etc. Okay, and we've got output. Output is the cooked fries, and then customer will be the person who's buying the fries. So we have to frame this thing at the earliest stage of the project so that we'll know what is happening exactly, right? We have to be very sure like what is happening. Then only we'll know where is the gap, like what we have to improve so that we can get rid of all those problems, right? These are some tools used in define phase. Again, like these all these phases will have different tools. If you just Google search for DMAIC tools, it'll have like a lot of tools in that. Like I'm just taking like few examples so that you can at least understand the overall view of what DMAIC is. Okay, so we are completed defining phase, and now comes the measure phase. Okay, what is happening exactly? We have all the processes defined, like we have the project charter ready and voice of customers. What is happening exactly? We have to measure the current process, right? The current French fries making process example. So we have got I've mentioned two tools here for instance. So it is spaghetti diagram and then the current state map. So for spaghetti diagram, I have taken one small example. Like here you can see a layout of hospital. Okay. Uh, let's say it is, let's just change the term to our own example, like the French fries making shop. So they'll have the kitchen, they'll have the order delivering area, they'll have storage area of I mean, uncooked fries and then salt and many things. And then they'll have the counter where customers will order it, right? So they'll just put that in as a layout, and then they'll start drawing like a noodle like diagram. So they'll be like, okay, for making the French fries, the chef is going here to collect the uncooked one, and then he's coming here, and then he's so likewise we can know, okay, his walking time is lot. Okay, so we'll know, okay, the walking time is lot. That's why he's consuming a lot of time. That's why it is leading to a long waiting period. So this is an example. Okay, so first we need a diagram, like a layout, and then we'll just draw like this. This is one method. Okay, and one more thing is current state map. Okay, so we have got one tool called value stream mapping. So value stream mapping has two things, which is current state map and future state map. So what it is, like again, like the template varies. Like you can see a template here, right? Supplier, customer, and the processes. Again, it depends upon the company. Like they'll have their own templates. Okay. So basically, what they'll do is current state map, they'll put the layout. It's exactly similar to that of the spaghetti diagram. They'll put the supplier, the processes, and then they'll put, okay, this much is the waiting time. And then there are like a lot of time concepts as well behind. Like, okay, so I'm not going to go into those things. This is just an overview of how it works, right? So so the current state map will be put into paper or like into a template, and they'll have the template ready. So now they can visualize, okay, this is how the process works. So they can measure, okay, where it is going wrong. Okay. Next comes the analyzing phase. Okay, here it has got few tools. So in analyzing phase, what they'll do is, who are all involved in this work, they'll sit, they should discuss. So there comes the brainstorming session, because we need to have ideas and inputs from different people, right? So they'll sit and discuss the entire current state process. Okay, this is what is going on right now. Okay, so then comes the 8 forms of waste. That is one tool. So we are keep on talking about this waste concept, right? In lean systems, we have got 8 forms of waste. Okay, to remember it easily, we have this acronym, Tim Woods, okay. Transportation, inventory, motion, weighting, overprocessing, overproduction, defects, and skills waste. These are all some types of waste, okay. So let's take this French fries process again. So what waste are like, what are the possible waste that's happening? Like the motion waste, okay, excessive movement within workspace. The chef might be moving here and there, like because the distance between the storage area and the cooking area will be a little bit longer. So the motion waste is coming there. There can be like a skills waste. The chef is might not be very skillful to make the fries on time. Okay, these are all some sort of waste, and it depends upon the process which we are doing. In case of medical devices, it could be inventory waste, like overproduction waste, overprocessing waste, anything it can be. Okay, so in analyze phase, they'll sit and okay, they'll discuss, okay, what are all the possible ways, like what are all the ways involved in the current process. Okay, and then they have to find the root cause of the waste. Okay, why is it happening? We need to know the cause, like then only we can find the solution, right? So we have like a few tools for that. 5 whys. And 5 whys, it's just for toxic. The number 5 is not like we need to have 5 whys question for sure, but it's just why questions. Okay, why I'm having a long wait time? Okay, we'll have an answer like he's walking a lot. And why he is walking a lot? So another why question is coming. It's like because the arrangement is not sorted out properly. Okay, why the arrangement is not sorted out properly? So likewise, the cause goes and goes and goes until and unless you have found the proper root cause of the problem. So that is how this analyze phase works. And we have got one other tool, which is cause and effect diagram. I'll just show that diagram in the next slide, okay? And it's also similar, like you'll have the effect, what are the causes which leads to this effect. So, and then we have got FMEA, which is failure modes and effects analysis. This will be really a good thing to know. I'm not going to go deep into it, but let's say, for example, I'm having a, let's say, patient monitor. Okay, I'm a medical devices company is producing that patient monitoring device. So during the development stage, they'll start figuring out, okay, what are all the components like which might go fail, which might go off during the use. Let's say the monitor can get turned off, the LCD display can go off, like things like that. Okay, the switch won't work, the power supply will not work. Those are all the failure modes, and then they list out all those failure modes, and then they'll make sure, okay, if this happens, what are all the risk control measures which we are going to take into act. Okay, so this is how it works in all organization. That is the concept behind FMEA. Okay, so now I told the cause and effect diagram, right? You can call this as fishbone diagram because it looks like a fishbone, and it is also called as Ishikawa diagram. Okay, so now basically we'll have the problem, right? Like a long waiting period, and then they have categorized into 6 things: measurement, people, environment, machines, methods, and materials. So I'll just go, okay, what sort of measurement would have gone wrong? Like you can see an example here. A car won't start as an effect. So the gas gauge would have got broken, one cause. Lack of training could have caused this thing, and all these things, this is one example. Like this is one tool where you can find the causes of the problems. Okay, and so yeah, now in this phase you have found the causes. Okay, this is what is causing the main problem. So in improve phase, what we'll do is they'll go straight away and then they'll try to improvise. Okay, now they'll try to, in this fries example, they'll try to reduce the distance between the storage area and then the cooking area. That's just one sort of improving, right? So now comes the future state map. So we had current state map, and now they'll create another process map where they are putting in the tasks which will get rid of all those wastes. Okay, and case and event, that is one tool which is like a short-term brainstorming session only, like, and again brainstorming. Okay, and design of experiments, they'll try to experiment few things, like, okay, will this work, like what is happening, a series of statistical tools. Okay, and so now they have improved the current state map, so they have reached their ultimate goal. That's it, job done. And finally we have got control phase, right? So it's not like, okay, I'm done with this process, it's done. No, it's not like that. We have to make sure the sustainability concept as well. So here comes the control phase. So control plan. So there'll be a document, okay, they have changed all these things in order to improve the current process. So they'll document everything. They'll see, okay, this is how it works. Okay. And then I'll come to this 5S again. So the SOP is standard operating procedures. So they'll have a separate procedural document itself. And basically this SOP, like all the organization will have the SOPs, and it will be respective to their own company. Like, okay, it's not like a very generic SOP. It will be respective to their own organization and industry. Okay. And then the training plans, they should be trained accordingly for the improvised one so that they can maintain the improved process. Okay. And then plan implementation. And then SPC is another tool, which is statistical process control, which monitors and controls the processes. Okay. Here, and one more concept is 5S, which is sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. There is one more S, which is 6th S, which is for safety. Okay. As I mentioned, different tools can be, like 5S can be used in the improve phase as well. Okay. Here 5S means, okay, they have improved it and then they have to sort it out and then they have to standardize the procedures. So that tool is used here. As well as in improve phase, like you can use this, like I would have told that we are sorting and arranging the, you know, the kitchen and then the storage area. So there also this 5S will apply. So these tools will apply in different phases, and it's up to the organization and then the team who are working on it. It's their own wish to apply it. So at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is to get rid of the waste for process improvisation, right? So yeah, this is like an overall concept behind applying the DMAIC tool. And as I mentioned, it's not, it need not to be this complete process. Even I'll be using some of the tools separately. Let's say I'm in the development stage of a product. Okay. So for that, they'll say, okay, this is one risk which the product will provide. Okay. So I'll be like, okay, so what are all the root causes of this problem? And then, we'll try to overcome all those causes, and then we'll put specific risk control measures so that that problem will not happen. So I'll be using that. And 5S, obviously we can use it anywhere, everywhere, even in our desk as well. Like, let's say we are having a work desk. Okay, 5 is set in order. Like you have to set your monitor here and then here, like so that it does not affect the ergonomics. Okay, ergonomics is really important, right? So for that also you can apply 5S. This is like a very straightforward example. Okay, so likewise it applies to all the organization and industries and to yourself as well. So yeah, that is how it works. So this is the overall thing with Lean. And yeah, if you've got any questions, you can ask away. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, very nice presentation, Robana.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, beautifully explained about lean concepts. Very nice to see a biomedical engineer graduate doing this wonderful job on lean manufacturing. Beautifully narrated, good presentation.
Thank you.
I had an opportunity to work with the lean manufacturing concept when I did my BE mechanical in the year 99 to 2003. So 2002 end, I was at Chennai in a company to work on with a project on lean manufacturing. It was a manufacturing company called WebEX India, which were into brakes manufacturing. And myself with the two more friends were the batchmates, and we did this concept there, as you explained for an example in the fries, the hotel fries example you gave. Similar thing, we did that on the product available in WebEX India. When we did, we reduced the waste times, and the entire process was leaned actually. Hours were reduced. Then we did not know that when we reduce the hours, the number of workers employed will be reduced by the management. So we were not aware of those concepts. As students, we did the project and finally we gave the report. And by the end of another week, we saw a couple of workers losing their jobs because they were not actually required for that quantum of products to be delivered. Did you experience any such in your career?
I haven't experienced like that. Like I haven't been involved like directly with any lean projects, but like sometimes it happens vice versa as well, sir. Like because now in this price example, if they have hired like two more working people, that would have increased the speed of the process. Likewise, in medical device production, they'll hire a lot of product operators like assemblers so that they can assemble like 100 products in these many time instead of just 60 product in these many hours. So there is like vice versa, but I haven't come across like losing like people for a work. Like that could be possible really, because since we are like improving the process, we can get rid of a specific task itself. Like so we won't need a specific person to do that task. So that is also possible, as you're telling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good.
Because we changed,
Yeah,
we changed entire layout of the factory so that the movement of the product, if you see earlier it moved around 500 meters, now the movement was shortened by 50 meters. So 450 meters traveling of the product earlier were now not happening. So that made the necessity to remove two workers actually.
Yeah,
So as you
makes
said, when
sense.
you reduce the process, definitely the number of people would go down. And as you said, if you increase the number of workers, definitely the delay in time could be really improved. Anyhow, very good,
Yeah,
very good, very good, Roman. Yeah.
thank you,
okay.
sir.
Can I just make an observation? Very good presentation, Ms. Arumugam. Uh, and as Dr. Thomas just mentioned, I think every action has multiple repercussions. Although the idea of optimizing processes is to reduce cost, one of the ways of reducing cost is to eliminate people or reduce the manpower levels. And manpower is something which is easily costed, in the sense that factories know how many people they employ, how much they pay, and if the amount of work they do can be visually monitored, and if it's not required, they can be eliminated. Unfortunately, from a humanistic point of view, I think it is very unfair. And in many organizations, actually, the amount of people who get employed are more than actually what is uh, would be required if you automate all the processes. Okay, so we do have courses which teach on automation. Essentially, one of the major worry there is that how the employment scene scenario is going to get changed. Okay, so these are changes which I think happens at multiple levels. And as far as Roobana's presentation is concerned, I would say that it's very nice that she got experience or 20 stream to think about these things and improve the functioning of the organization. So yeah, small question to her, what is the kind of products her company is making, and where she thinks to what extent the costs could be reduced or the processes could be improved. Has she applied this thinking into her own company's operations?
Yeah, so in Boston Scientific, like we manufacture like different products like CRM devices and urology, neurology, and all those things. I currently work with urology department, and but I've heard about. I haven't like really involved in lean projects as I mentioned before, but I know like some of my colleagues who work on that. What they have done is like we have got this production area, like the CEA area for manufacturing the medical devices. In that, somehow they changed the layout, as Thomas mentioned before. Like here also, like I think they have changed some sort of layout and the processes. You know, they'll have each line for manufacturing, like each concept. Like for molding, they'll have one line. For welding, they'll have another line. So they have changed some sort of processes. So, but I'm not like I don't know exactly like what they have changed, or I don't know the quantifying values for that. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I think you are not directly involved in that. So
Yeah.
this is part of your training. That's what you have been saying. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions or queries?
Right, Rubana. I hope your company is into this lean manufacturing concepts, and there is something called as Kaizens. The
Yep.
suggestions given by employers, I mean employees, and the management may reward them if it is good or not. Is that procedure available there?
Yes, so we have got this case in event and all, like as I said, like it is brainstorming thing, like a short-term brainstorming thing. Like they'll be doing that thing like for each and every project, I suppose.
Great.
So we have got a conference room named Kaizen room itself. So yeah.
Very nice to know that. It is a
Yes.
beautiful culture that whatever cadre the employee is, if they give an idea, which is otherwise called as Kaizen, immediately they will be rewarded with something from the management. So it encourages everyone to come up with ideas. It's very nice, and it
Yes,
happened.
certainly.
It happened in one of the cases, like it is a story or something like that. See, in a soap manufacturing company, the product line, the soaps were coming with which is covered actually, and somehow one box is without the soap actually. So people were trying how to sort out this problem, because when we put it in a package of 12 each, one box is without a soap. Inside the soap is not available, but the box is available. So without the soap, we are actually pushing it to the market, and complaints were there. So they gathered and they asked for suggestions, and all engineers gave like we can have sophisticated sensors to sense that, scan things, find whichever box is without soap, and we will throw it off. And likewise, very sophisticated ideas are coming up by engineers, given by people of higher order and something like that. And finally, the sweeper of that factory, he simply came up with his experience and said that, sir, it's very simple. You have a pedestal fan in the lineup of the soap products coming down. The fan will blow the empty box. So it is just a small idea. His experience, what he shared, a case, and the company
Exactly.
actually implemented that with a success rate. So cases are very
Exactly. Certainly.
important. It is really like a story, but it happened in a factory. So
Yes, sir.
Kaizen hearing
Definitely.
to all is really good in lean manufacturing concepts. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, not only in lean manufacturing side, like basically if we apply Kaizen like to each team, that will be really nice. Even they won't consider me as a graduate at all. Like they'll be like, she's a fresher, or they won't consider me as a graduate or anything. But then they'll listen to our voices as well. So that is how like even my small input would have created a lot of impact to our team. So this Kaizen applies everywhere, as you mentioned, which is really a good practice.
Very nice, very nice. Students and audience, if you have some questions, you can really put it to Rubana. So she's from Ireland.
Sir,
Uh,
I got one message here, just
please go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, which they've asked like, can you please share about higher education opportunities in Ireland for BME students? So yeah, so basically like now a lot of people are going abroad to do their masters, and I'd say there are two things. You can gain some sort of experience from there, and then you can go do your masters, and then the job opportunities will be like very easy for you to find one. Also, I'm one example of just completing the course and coming immediately to do my masters, right? So if you have like a proper knowledge and like a little bit of luck sometimes. I don't believe in luck, but here sometimes it works like that, like getting your CV selected for your, for your getting your CV selected. Sorry, getting your CV selected for the first round itself is a little bit challenging. But yeah, at the end of the day, you'll find some job related to biomedical engineering. But you have to be very calm, like until you find one. Like you have to develop yourself, like learn a lot of tools. Like learning this lean systems is a really good thing. And one more thing which I forgot to mention here. So related to this lean, if you want to improvise your CV or if you want to improve yourself, if you're really interested towards it, you can do yellow belt or green belt certifications, which will add up as a star to your CV. Okay, so yeah, you can talk about it. Like even if you know, you can talk about it. Like talking in interviews is really very important trait. Like they won't know unless and until you talk that you know about the specific concept. You have to tweak in between, like whatever questions they are asking, you have to have that like ability to talk in between and prove them that you are good in this, like this, and you are like capable of learning. Okay. So yeah, that is how it works, and improve your CV. That is very important. And after coming here, like as like for this higher education opportunities, yeah, like the same thing works here as well. Like we have to keep applying without getting bored of it. So yeah, you've got like plenty of opportunities here as well. Like every year, like the job opportunities are getting increased, and not only in biomedical department, like for BME students, like many of them will go to pharma industry as well. In Ireland, we have got like a lot of pharmaceutical industries as well. So, and one more thing, for biomedical engineers, it's not only like we are restricted to few roles, like there are like plenty of roles. Like I'm in design quality assurance engineering role, and we have got a separate quality engineer role, process engineer role, manufacturing engineers, R&D engineers, industrial engineers, and like etc, like packaging engineer. There are like n number of roles like which we are like eligible for. The thing is, like, we have to keep looking for the roles, and we have to have the knowledge about what is present, like what are they looking for as a candidate. Okay, these are all the things which works here. Anything else, any other doubts regarding higher studies or in work culture or anything like that?
Yeah, Rubana, I think students may feel a bit shy to put up questions. After all, we were
I
all the
know,
one
sir.
students, so hope you understand. Anyhow, for the
Definitely,
benefit
sir.
of yeah, for the benefit of all students, like any message to them, like for the current students, how to actually go about in future. What are all the subjects they should concentrate more, whether it is a project oriented or something of that sort? Can you give some comments on that?
Yes, sir, definitely. So basically, like, it depends upon each individual, like when you'll find your own interest. Like for me now, if someone asks like which role are you interested in, I'll say I'm interested in design quality assurance side of things, like the risk management side of medical devices, and like the quality side of things, and sometimes manufacturing process as well. So I know like which field I am interested in right now. So the thing is, like, you need not worry that you don't know what you are really interested in, or like you don't have to panic. Like even if you are at your final year, don't worry. Like you don't, even if you don't know what you're going to do, like just apply for few jobs. Like last year the same time when I was applying for jobs and all, by 2020 Jan Feb and all, I just randomly applied for a lot of jobs. Okay. The only thing which I would say is just open your mind and keep learning. Like willing to learn is really very important in this society at the moment. Like maybe like few years back, whatever role we are interested in, there are possibilities to find the role, right? But now, since like the population is increasing, the roles are reducing as well. So you have to adapt to that specific role, but it should be some sort of interest towards it. But I'm not telling you, like, if you're interested in biomedical devices, I'm not telling you to go to automobile industry as such. I'm just telling within biomedical itself, you have to widen your mind and look for other opportunities instead of just sticking on to R&D side, just manufacturing side or things like that. You have to open up your mind, like start learning new things, and yeah, that is what it is, and you'll gain interest accordingly. Like, and one more thing is, just if you're not getting the job of your own interest, just start with some work, and then you'll gain experience, and then you can grow in that, and then later you can move to the your own interest field. Okay, it's not like the world is end if you're not going to get the job of interest which you have right now. Just gain experience, and someday you'll reach the point to your own interest. Okay, so yeah, and you just look into the opportunities. Like, there are like plenty of management opportunities, research opportunities. Once you do masters, there is option for doing PhD. Like, it's not like once you do PhD, it's just only going into academic or things like that. Just don't constrain your mind. Even after doing PhD, you can work in like senior roles in big industries and organizations. That is what I'd say. So if you're interested, just do it. Like, don't get panic about the future state of that thing. Like, just learn what you're doing and gain experience. Like, gaining experience and learning from your seniors and your team, that is really important. And for second year, third year students, just understand what you're learning. Like, somehow or the other, like, you'll use some terms in your interviews or like in some part of the work time. I learned this TQM about the lean when I was doing my final year or third year, I suppose. But now see, like, that is really helping me, because when I was being trained on this lean systems, I was able to answer some of the questions. So, like, understand what you're learning. Like, at the end, like, we'll just memorize few stuffs, and then we'll just go and put it up in our exam answer sheets. Even if you do that, just understand the principle, like, not the exact theory behind it, just understand what it is. That is enough. Like, that is more than enough, what the term is. Like, now, I don't know how many of you like would have got entire concept of lean, but at least if you are able to tell what is lean, that is like more than enough for now. Okay, so yeah, that is what I'd say, sir. Like,
Yeah, thank you.
and I'll just drop in my email ID and my contact number in the chat, so that if someone is not able to ask any questions. And one more thing which I've learned after joining this work is, like, there is no questions which is like a silly questions or which is like very stupid question. They'll be like, even if it is very silly, don't worry, just ask away. Just don't think like, okay, these many people are there, like these many leads, like functional leads are there and things like that. Just ask away. And one more thing is, like, it's just like a give and take. Like, your seniors will take some information from you and you will get information from them. It's just like that. It's not depending upon the hierarchy. They'll analyze you. It's never going to work like that, because you will be very much knowledgeable in one specific thing, which I might not be.
Very nice. Thank you, Roobana,
Thank you, sir.
for the details shared in the chat.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Audience, if you have no other questions, Roobana and Dr. Vigamuthi sir, Vasant sir, shall we go for the closing remarks?
And I'd like to say that thank you very much, really, like, thank you very much for this opportunity, sir. And I'm really happy that I'm able to deliver like some sort of experience to my juniors as well as like staff members and things like that. I have learned like good things now as well in this call. Like, you have mentioned me some good examples of this lean things, and it was really nice to interact with you people. And yeah, I'm looking forward to do like few sessions in future as well. Thank you very much for this opportunity, sir, and SREC Alumni Association as well.
Definitely. Thank you, Roobana. So that was Roobana Arumugam of 2019 BME passed out from Ireland for this webinar talk today. She has mesmerized this evening with a wonderful presentation on lean manufacturing process. Thank you, Roobana, once again for being here. Thank you, Department of Biomedical Engineering, headed by Dr. V. Ramurthy sir, Lavanya ma'am, and Sri Vidya Shakti for introducing Roobana to the SREC Alumni Association on our audience. Thank you so much. It was wonderful hosting you, Roobana. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shamir 2005 EEE for the wonderful book review. Week after week giving book review is really a tough task, but definitely high quantum of knowledge is what you're putting in front of the audience. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, audience from all over the globe, student friends, faculty members who have joined this evening to make the webinar number 72 a success. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all. Good day.